So we've got some final things to talk about in regards to the Vancouver Canucks, and what I really wanted to dive into in this video was all the information we had seen yesterday, and some of the extra underlying thoughts behind it all. Of course, yesterday, on Wednesday, May 14th, 2025, we saw two big pieces of Vancouver Canucks-related news. The team hired Adam Foote as the new head coach of the club, and they also signed top prospect Tom Willander to his entry-level contract. Both of these separate things were pretty close to one another in terms of the timing as to when they were announced, and I did see some people going out there and, making some conspiracy about it, in particular the idea as to whether or not the Canucks wanted to calm the waters after the Adam Foote hiring was announced by signing Tom Willander. But anyways, let's dive into some of the updates here about both of these situations that get into, firstly, just how cheap the Vancouver Canucks were in this Tom Willander negotiation, what the plan appears to be for him, as well as some extra commentary on Adam Foote and what Patrik Allvin had to say about the matter. We had some comments from him earlier this morning, as well as some extra tidbits of info from the radio that I wanted to dive into as well. Starting out with the Tom Willander stuff, I actually do want to dive into this more, because this is a lot more... what's the word I'm looking for? It's more easy to poke fun at the Canucks for this. Yeah, that's the right way to put it, I think. Let's go out there and look firstly at the Tom Willander contract, as tweeted out and published by Cam Robinson on Twitter. He posted about Tom Willander's Schedule A bonus structure. Year 1, he's got the potential of making $500,000. In Year 2, he's got the potential to making $900,000. And in Year 3, he's got a potential of making $1 million. In the end, both sides inched closer and got the deal done. For what it's worth, Robinson also posts this here. Jonathan Lekkerimäki received $475,000 in bonuses for all 3 years of his ELC. The Canucks broke their internal cap on ELC bonuses on this deal. And I think that's an interesting point to bring up, because it does indicate maybe why the Vancouver Canucks were so hesitant to give Willander the bonuses that he very well could have deserved here. Lekkerimäki getting only $475,000 in bonuses over 3 years, ending up putting the Canucks in a bad spot when they view their own finances. Now, you can debate whether or not it's really worth it to have an internal cap on ELC bonuses, but then again, that's just what they have. I've been a very big fan of Emily Castonguay from her work as an agent, and especially in the Vancouver Canucks organization managing money. We saw them go up and down and up and down and up and down with random guys like Niels Alman and Arshdeep Bains and Artur Shilovs throughout the year to a crew cap. It's just when it comes to the idea of spending money, that's when we start to see a little bit of fragility there. And that's indicated here by Satyar Shah. Canucks and Willander's camp, they had discussions over the weekend, and Vancouver went from offering $783,000 in Schedule A bonuses to $800,000 today, which got the deal done. Both sides moved off their positions to make this happen. So, based off of this Satyar Shah tweet, you're telling me that the Vancouver Canucks were not signing Tom Willander over $17,000? Buddy, what in the world? I can understand $17,000 being the make or break limit or discussion point when you're talking about normal people in normal jobs. Like me, blue collar folks, the guy down the street from me that lives in a 1-bedroom apartment and he's renting. $17,000 is a game breaker there. But $17K for a pro athlete who's set to making $800,000 a year? You're not willing to give that guy $17K more of bonuses that almost every other prospect in his position ends up getting? I get it. Yo, they got the bonuses over the cap in the Lekkerimäki deal. But don't use that info to screw over another prospect. The Canucks, man, so cheap. $17,000. That's what they couldn't get the contract signed for. Tom Willander's agent, Todd Diamond, he was on Donnie and Dolly earlier this morning, too. He says at the end of the day, The contract delay was about a small amount of money. Diamond also says Willander will not join Abbotsford. He does not want to take another player's spot, and he is in training mode and already at the rink and in the gym. So good on Willander for sticking with his own regiment and not stepping on the toes of any other Canucks defenseman, Abbotsford Canucks defenseman, that is. But even the agent says, yeah, the dispute was over a very small amount of money. $17,000 after all. That's certainly a way to look at your hockey team. Now, with this in mind, I wanted to go out and talk about yet another thought or two about the newest Canucks head coach, Adam Foote. Now, there's been this sentiment going around over the past few weeks here that with Foote's name in the rotation, firstly, his hiring accomplishes two things. It tries to keep Quinn Hughes happy because Quinn has been very praising of Adam Foote. But secondly, it debatably reopens the door for the exact same systems that Rick Tocchet had to be put on display in Vancouver one more time. The sentiment is that Tocchet was the head coach and Adam Foote was the assistant, and he's been with Tocchet this entire time, not to mention the fact that Adam Foote's only other head coaching stint was terrible in the WHL, took a stacked Kelowna Rockets team and gave them a losing record, and he got fired before the Memorial Cup. There isn't really much to say optimistically yet. Adam Foote has this resume that's going to provide success for the Canucks. No, we're not seeing that on a resume. We are just seeing the body of work he had as a player and player sentiments that say that they like him and they respect him and they think he's going to be good. Let's go out there and look at some thoughts on Foote. People are worried, Dan Riccio says, about Adam Foote coaching the Canucks offense, but the bigger factors are Elias Pettersson and the roster itself. No coach can turn water into wine. So, that thought, I guess, is worth bringing up because it says that, yeah, Adam Foote might not be the guy to bring back Elias Pettersson, but then again, if Pettersson isn't capable of bringing himself back, maybe it doesn't matter who the coach is. Here's another thought about Adam Foote, posted by Jim Leahy. This is what Satyr Shah said earlier this morning on Halford and Bruff. Adam Foote has his own ideas on how hockey should be played. He won't just be Tocchet 2.0 systems-wise. And I think the biggest response to this is, ultimately, just, we have to wait and see. That's it. We can't fully believe that until we see the team play a system other than dump and chase north-south extreme forechecking hockey. Yesterday, Sat said this, that the management could also be in the hot seat if things go south next season, and that's why they wanted a coach that they were familiar with. A guy that they could probably get to a little bit easier than some brand new head coach, in the same way they preferred Tocchet over Bruce Boudreau. If management's heads are rolling next season, they want to know that they did everything they could in their own confidence to put the team in the right spot to win. If it doesn't work, if Foote sucks as a head coach in the NHL, and the Canucks management all gets the can because of it, then at least they have themselves no regrets. It's like, oh yeah, if we just hired the guy that we wanted, then maybe things would have been different. No, if it still went bad, it still went bad. But of course, though, that just depends on how the season goes later on. Patrik Allvin and Adam Foote said earlier this morning that they expect to add 2 coaches to the Canucks staff, and Foote says he would like to add a defensive and an offensive coach. And I think one of the top replies is really interesting here. How about 2 offensive coaches? I think that would calm a lot of fans down. And please don't blend the lines. Some 4-line system BS like Tocchet did for the whole season. Create a deadly top 6 and let them build chemistry. I think offensive productivity is going to be the biggest issue that Canucks fans have with this upcoming year and with the coaching staff that was brought on here. Offense. The team sucked offensively last season. They were great in 2023-2024, but that was a PDO bender year. It was different. Quinn Hughes is the only offensive juggernaut on this team now. And speaking about Quinn Hughes, Patrik Allvin does say he didn't speak to Quinn during the process of hiring a head coach. It's not about one player, it's about the team. And to that I say, okay. Do you really believe that though, Allvin? I don't know. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below all about this Canucks stuff, from Tom Willander and the Canucks being cheap to the extra updates on Adam Foote and Patrik Allvin speaking out about the hiring of the new head coach. Let me know in the comments what do you think. I hope you enjoyed this British Ash Rolls 99. And bye.